start with your favourite, please. Injuries, particularly Jesus, and any update on Party, because you said we will see ahead of this game.
Yeah, Gabby obviously played and trained with us the whole week, and with Thomas, unfortunately, we had a little setback a few days ago, so he's not going to be available to be in the squad. Whether it's a matter of days or weeks, we will see, but he had a little thing.
When you say setback, can you just elaborate a little?
I'm not a doctor, but I can try to. And he felt something again in a very similar area, and he wasn't able to train the last few days.
When you look at Arsenal, Liverpool, you look at where you both are in the table, how much do you need to win on the weekend to keep those title ambitions alive?
What we need to do is play like we played the last two games against them, and be more efficient in the areas that's going to decide the game. But very excited. It's always great to prepare a game against Liverpool. How good they are, they dominate every aspect of the game, and we play at home, and what I sense is a real sense of positivity and enthusiasm around the place.
You came obviously so close last season, for so long you were sort of battling right at the top. When you look at this game and you look around where your squad is and your players now, how better equipped do you feel as a group to go into these big games and come out on the right side of them?
Obviously we had some big experiences, and what we did last year, it was another big step, and this season we are trying to do something even better, and we are in the Champions League as well, which was a big step, and yeah, the squad is better. It's true that we have some very, very important injuries within that, but I think the squad has managed really well.
You obviously met them just a few weeks ago in the FA Cup, very, very good first half, but couldn't finish those chances. You talked about a mental block on that day. How much of a better place do you feel your strikers and your, in particular, are in compared to where you were at the beginning of January?
In terms of the team performance, very similar. Obviously, we had the opportunity to refresh and reconnect again when we went to Dubai, and then we had a long period as well between the Palace and the Forest game. And my feeling is that we continue to play really well. Obviously, we're much more efficient in the final third, and that's very helpful to win football matches.
And just finally for me, White and Zinchenko, are they friends this week, or are you encouraging that sort of level, White and Zinchenko?
Yeah, they've been in the same house for the last 3 days, sharing wives and everything. So. That's fine. They live in together. They live in together now. They are best mates.
In all seriousness, is that the sort of not the living together, the kind of getting...
You don't argue with somebody you don't have a great relationship. You know, that happens because you have the trust and you have the chemistry with somebody to react the way he did. So, yeah.
What I was actually going to say to you was, don't you like that sort of behaviour on a week like this? Don't you need that sort of behaviour where people are right at it and right at each other? I mean, you must remember from the big games when you were a player, there was probably a fight going on in the corner.
I love it. As long as it's in a respectful way and only with the intention to be more demanding and be better as a team, and it stays there, very happy with that.
Seb from the Premier League.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Do you feel like a win against Liverpool is needed right now to give you that extra bit of momentum and confidence that you can actually beat those teams at this stage of the season?
Yes, and we have done it this season. We have beat big teams already, and it's another opportunity to beat Liverpool now and be in a much better place. And we talk about momentum, and we won the last 2 games, and we want to win the third one, especially at home with our people. It's going to be an incredible atmosphere, and we're going to need that. So I encourage everybody to do that, to play with us every single ball, and if we do that, we're going to have a big chance to win the game.
Do you sense that Jurgen Klopp's announcement a few days ago might give Liverpool that extra bit of determination to end this season on a positive note?
I don't have a clue. Hopefully not.
What would you think if you were in that position?
I don't know. I'm not in that position, so I have enough to understand how we feel in our position.
Thank you.
George on the BBC.
Thanks, Dan. Mikel, will you miss Jurgen Klopp? I think it'll be your last interaction, possibly for the last time. So will you miss him from the Premier League?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a big loss. I think, as I said before, it's been an inspiration. It's been someone that has added a new dimension to the Premier League, a really attractive and inspiring way of playing, set up teams, and building a team and transforming a club as well. So he will be missed, but for now he's here.
Can I just ask you, on Tuesday you were so dominant against Forest with the ball and how you sort of penned them in. And I know you spoke a couple of months ago about the team evolving. Do you feel like you've lost a bit of unpredictability from last season, or is this the way that you want Arsenal to play now, where you're sort of pinning teams in? Because last season you were so thrilling and up and down, end to end. I just wonder, is that the style that you want Arsenal to evolve into, or does it depend on the team you're playing against?
Yeah. Well, there are moments that you provoke certain things, and other things that the opponent's behavior dictates what the game requires and what actually you can do. But we were still the team that defended against more deep blocks last season, so it's nothing new, you know. And still we score goals in different ways in the last 2 weeks as well, which is great to see. So the team has to dominate every aspect of the game if we want to be up there.
Do you feel like you're controlling matches more though this season?
Well, we are conceding less than last season. That obviously we are generating more, and now those margins have to be seen in the scoreline, and that's the challenge.
And you mentioned the scoreline. You haven't signed the striker in this window. If you draw going forward the next couple of matches, you're going to get questions about. Can you just explain to the fans why you haven't signed the forward this window?
And if we win tomorrow and we score a lot of goals?
But you.
No, I think like this. I love my players, and I think that tomorrow we're going to score goals and they're going to be top, and they fully deserves all our credit because the way they are.
Do you trust in the players you've got?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
Ian, talk sport. You ready?
Yeah. Howard, you alright?
Very good, you?
Can you explain to me why it's so good for a football manager to see his players fighting with each other on the pitch? I mean, if my boss saw me fighting with one of my colleagues, I don't think he'd be sitting in front of a press conference saying, I think it's great and it shows they get on very well.
Well, maybe we have a different understanding of what the word fight means.
Disagreement.
Or a conversation, a little bit heated, a bit more emotional after the game when you are 200 bips a minute, sorry. So normal, nothing new.
But explain why you like to see that.
Because I want to see passion, I want to see commitment on my players, I want to have my players to have desire always to be better. And in order to do that, we have to be demanding with each other. If not, it's Disneyland.
No, it's not Disneyland, absolutely. And this game isn't Mickey Mouse either. But it's a game you obviously think you're going to win. If you don't win it, if you lose it, is that you out of the title race?
I don't know. My mindset is to win it, and I'm in that frame at the moment.
But do you look at it and think, right, this is a must-not-lose match then?
No, this is a game that we want to win, and we have to earn the right to win it. And in order to do that, we're going to have to do so many good things, because there is a reason why they are there, but as well there is a reason why we are where we are.
And just building finally on, you haven't signed a striker. In fact, most clubs didn't sign many players, or indeed any players, during the January transfer window. Is this the sign of things to come now, because clubs have to, or are looking so much at FFP and financial fair play and what have you? They're almost being hamstrung in that they might want to go and look at players, they might want to consider signing a player, but now that option isn't possible where it was maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Yes, I think that's a big reason. I fully agree, and as well that maybe there is not a player in the market that can really make a difference or the impact that you need if you are able to recruit him. So that's it.
Good luck.
Mark,
Thank you.
Hi, Mikel. It's obviously a different opposition on Sunday, but we look at that win over Man City as a good example of how you can beat the teams at the top of this league.
Yeah, or Manchester United, or it was Brighton, and when we played here last season against Liverpool, you know, we've done it many times, and tomorrow is a different game, you know, and the team looks really ready and really prepared. Is really looking forward to the game. We know that the stadium is going to be fully with us as well, and we want those days. We want to have those afternoons with our supporters where we are challenging for big things, and tomorrow or the next day is a big one.
You mentioned it earlier, someone who won't be ready is Thomas Partey. How concerned is it long term for you that since you've had him really, you've just not been able to keep him fit?
Yeah, big concern, because he's such an important player for us, and he was getting some momentum at the start of the season, and then we lost him for a while, and now it's been a long time without him, and he gave us something very different that no other player can give us in the squad, and it's been a real miss.
Have you been able to isolate a particular reason it happens, or is it just bad luck? Or?
Well, there have been different kind of injuries, but not everything is bad luck, but there is a lot of things that very difficult to control as well. And obviously the player has a history as well that where he had some issues in the past, but we have to try to protect him and do everything that we can to try to avoid it again.
Okay, we'll go to Stephen.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
As of today, it's the Shoga Realty Training Centre. Eddie was kind of talking about that partnership and commenting on, obviously, how important the role of the training ground is in all your lives. How important is it to create an environment where you can prepare well and perform at the highest levels?
Yes, we just want to welcome Shoba Realty to our football club. I think it's going to be a great way for us to evolve all the facilities and the updates that we need around the place to, as you said, to improve performance basically and to make this place more special. And we have some necessities and they're going to be really, really helpful to fulfill them.
Okay, Stephen, and finally, I think we'll go to Jordan from the Atlantic.
Mikel, you let Lino Sousa leave the club on deadline day. With the number of injuries in defence, there's maybe some hope that we get a chance. Could you just talk us through why you let him go?
Well, it was a club decision, and obviously he had a really particular situation with his contract, and there has been a lot of talks about it, and the club believed that it was the best decision to do that, and I supported that decision.
You're obviously coming up against Klopp at the weekend. There's a lot of talk about his legacy, apart from trophies. One of those things is his willingness to give young players a shot in the first team. I think there's 11 this season that have played 1 or 2 games at least. Is that something that you think you need to improve on at Arsenal? It's been a few years since Saka broke through. Is it something that you want to maybe be a bit more bold in giving players a chance to prove themselves? Yeah, we certainly want to do that, and first of all, we need to produce those talents, and they have to earn it. And secondly, when we produce them, they have to be in the positions that we need fulfilling. So everything has to come together, and we are working on how we have a few prospects which are not far, but yes, the reality is that we want more. Is that the thing now? That it's not that the talent's there and you're choosing not to use it? Do you not think the talent is there that's ready to break in?
Today,
yeah,
to give the opportunities and to play in the first team and at the level that we required, we are a bit short.